All right, talking about house hacking. What is it? How do you do it? Why would you do it? Let's get started. We're going to take a look at an example here today, too. So, what is house hacking? House hacking is really finding a property, whether it's a duplex, single family, multifamily, whatever, that you can basically rent out part or all of it to renters that either live with you or live alongside you or live in one unit of the property and basically pay the mortgage for you. Why would you want to do that? Well, you essentially get to live there for free. When you get to live for free, you can take that money that you were going to pay your mortgage or your rent or whatever else with and use that to invest in something else. Personally, I would use that to invest in other properties or other things that I wanted to do. You could use that to invest in Airbnbs. You could use that to invest in a business that you wanted to create. But you create yourself a lot of room to create some wealth when you can live for free. So, how do you get into it? Well, first thing I would look at is funding. So you want to get pre-qualified. I would suggest working with a lender that can get you pre-qualified so you know what you can afford. You know what you're looking at. When you go start talking to listing agents, you can tell them you're pre-qualified. Really helps when you are ready to go instead of getting into something and you're like, oh, I don't quite have the money to get into that. So get pre-qualified, find a lender, start working with them. Seek good opportunities. This one here today that we're going to look at is a great opportunity for something like house hacking. Duplexes are a good opportunity. I've got a good example of a single family house hack right now with my son. It's in just a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, so there's a lot of ways to do this. So when I say look at sensible opportunities, let's take a look at this one. So what this is a 2-bedroom, 1-bath. There's a 1-bedroom, 1-bath, and there's efficiency in the back. So if I were to buy this and I wanted to house hack it, what I would do is I would rent out the 2-1. Basically in this market, the rooms go for about $500 a piece. So I would rent out the 2-1 for probably $1,000. So you've got 2 people living in the 2-1. The 1-1, same thing. I would rent it out for $500. So that leaves the efficiency. I would, and myself, live in the efficiency. You get to live on the property. At this point, you're basically living for free. I'll break down some of the financials here in a minute, but you're basically living for free. You're living on the property. You get the experience of being a landlord, so to speak. If something goes wrong, you're right there. If they need something, you're right there. If you just need to keep an eye on the place and keep it maintained, you're also right there. The bad side of that is you're also right there. So there's a lot of good things, especially starting out. It's a great opportunity to kind of get familiar with the things that are required of, being a landlord, taking care of properties. So let's talk about the deal on this. So this one's listed for $220, just at a recent price cut. It's got a lot of great things that make it a good house hack. So let's take a look at some of the financials. I went and filled some of this in earlier. So we'll get down here. We're gonna look at this at the listed price, which is $220. Since you are going to be living in this in some way, shape, form, or fashion, it could be a primary residence, so you can use like an FHA loan, which only requires a 3.5% down. So that's a pretty low down payment. You still got some closing costs wrapped in there, but 3.5% down, $7,700 on a $220,000 house. You're going to have some closing costs probably in the $5,000-$6,000 range. So you're in this for probably 13, 14, I would guess ish. You would want that lender that you're working with to run those numbers for you and give you a really good idea of what it's going to take to get in it. But at that point, if you look at your payment, it's right around $1,534. So if you rent out those two, like we were talking about, you rent out the 2-1, you rent out the 1-1, you're at $1,500. You're essentially living there for $34 a month. So It's a really, really good deal. Like I said, it's a good way to make some income. While you're doing this, you're also building equity in the property, and somebody else is paying for that. Just like if you were to own a rental property, but this way you don't have to put 20% down. It's a great way to enter into that market. And like I said, $1,500, you're going to live for $34. A great way to start. You're going to build equity if you decide to rent the rest of it out down the road. Live in it for 2 years, move out. If you do that, you can actually move out and pay no capital gains taxes on it because it was your primary residence. You've also got the ability to to keep it as a rental, continue to rent it out. If you want to sell it, you built equity in it. Somebody else has paid the mortgage for however long you've lived there, 1, 2, 3, 5 years, and you'll be able to gain on it that way as well. So lots of good advantages this way to make some income, to save some money. And personally, I think this is a great way to go, especially if you're younger, just starting out. And looking for a way to get ahead in the real estate market. So please subscribe, follow for more, and like the video or leave comments. Thanks.